Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Hitched, The One, by G.K. Derosa, narrated by Sarah Puckett. Chapter 1. Feather-light kisses brush my eyelids, and I giggle, the soft touch inciting a delicious wave of goosebumps over my bare arms. Gentle lips move down my cheek and across my jawline, pausing to nibble at my earlobe. My eyes flutter open to meet a pair of fiery golden ones hovering over me. "I'm sorry, treasure. I didn't mean to wake you. You just looked so beautiful I couldn't resist." Phoenix's raspy morning voice does things to my insides. If I'm not careful, he'll have me reduced to nothing more than a lovesick puddle of goo. He stretches out beside me, the massive dragon shifter taking up the majority of the bed. I curl into him, nuzzling his broad, bare chest. His smoky cedar fragrance wraps me in its warm embrace. 10 days was too long to go without him. Without his familiar scent and feel, his chest rises and falls beneath my cheek, the steady motion a soothing balm to my constantly frazzled nerves. I run a finger over the intricate lines of his golden dragon tattoo. The scales seem to have a life of their own, dancing and shimmering under my touch. "I love you, Kimmie-Jayne," he whispers against my hair. I shoot up to meet his gaze. "I'm sorry, can you repeat that?" He chuckles. "Being apart for all this time made me accept the reality of my feelings. As much as I'd like to pretend they aren't as strong as they are, I can't deny it any longer, even if I'm not the only one in your heart right now." The scowl on his kissable lips makes my chest tighten. "I love you too." His eyes widen, the gold ablaze. "It seems like I've been waiting forever for you to say that." He claims my lips, his heat setting my insides on fire. He rolls me on top of him, his hands roaming over my skimpy pajamas. I want more of him, so much more, but I can't forget what he said to me that night at Sky Lair. He wants all of me, and for me to only want him, regardless of what he's saying now. And although I am certain I love him, he's right when he says he's not the only bachelor in my heart. After a steamy makeout session, I roll back to my side, breathless. A wry grin curls his lip as he watches me. "I'm glad I picked the lucky straw last night." As soon as I returned to the manor the night before, my strict guard schedule was reenacted. Phoenix was the lucky winner for the evening. In addition to Luciano, each of the remaining bachelors would be on rotation until the next elimination. My lungs constrict, threatening to collapse on me at the thought. Tonight I'll be sending 3 more bachelors home. And El Ryan still hasn't returned. "He'll be back. I'm sure of it," Phoenix whispers as he kisses the top of my head. I crane my neck to meet his gaze and scoot back an inch out of his embrace. "Were you just sneaking around in my mind?" A coat of crimson colors his cheeks, and he squeezes his eyes shut for a moment before reopening them. "I'm sorry," he mutters. "I'm finding it harder and harder to block out your thoughts, especially when we're this close. It's like you're a radio station broadcasting directly on my network." I pause, snagging my lip between my teeth. We've never talked much about what our psychic connection means, but I'm fairly certain Phoenix knows more than what he's divulging, especially given Flair's reaction to the news. He practically dismissed himself from the competition when he found out. Whatever it means, it's something big. I keep waiting for Phoenix to explain, but with time quickly winding down, I'm not sure I can anymore. Inhaling a deep breath, I fix my gaze on the bachelor I'm desperately falling for. "What does the mind-reading thing really mean, Phoenix?" His pupils elongate, the gold pulsating around them as brilliant as the midday sun. He shakes his head, blinking, and his eyes return to normal. "My dragon thinks he's found his mate." Huh? My mouth drops, and I sit up on the bed. He straightens, leaning his back against the headboard as he rakes his hands over his face. Other than members of the same pride, only dragon mates can commune in that manner. Even with my brother and I, there are limitations. But with true mates, the communication is free-flowing from both ends. But I'm not a dragon. The words splutter out. A rueful smile crosses Phoenix's handsome face. I know that, but apparently my dragon doesn't care. Mate, mate, mate. The word resonates within my skull, and I don't think it's coming from my brain. I press my fingers to my temples and lose the breath. If that were true, then why can't I hear your thoughts? Because you're not a dragon. A teasing smile lifts the corners of his lips, and my heart flip-flops. Damn him for being so cute. Don't worry, it's not a done deal. There are other parts to the mating ritual that must be performed, so you're still safe. My brow arches. Like what? He opens his mouth, but loud knocks at the door stop him from answering. Are you guys decent? Flair's voice seeps through the cracks. Luciano mutters something, but I can't make out his words through the thick timber. He sounds annoyed, almost as much as I am about this intrusion. Just when Phoenix was about to open up about this whole mate thing. Phoenix nudges me. Should we put him out of his misery? Yeah, I guess we better. Scooting to the edge of the bed, I grab my robe and wrap it around tightly. Come in. Flair barrels through the door, and Luciano trails in after him, an apologetic look in his dark eyes. I am sorry, amor. I tried to stop him, but he insisted it was important. Phoenix stiffens beside me, his whole body growing taut. What's the matter? I made breakfast. His twin plasters a goofy grin on his face. I didn't want it getting cold before Kimmie-Jayne could taste it. I can't help but laugh as I slip into my flip-flops and run a hand through my messy bedhead. Geez, Flair, I thought something bad happened. The moment the words were out of my mouth, my thoughts fly to the Fey Prince. Still nothing from Elryan? Flair shakes his head, a dark lock tumbling over his forehead. Cillian's tried to get in contact with the Winter Court, but no one will tell him anything. My shoulders sag, and I wrap my arms around my midsection to keep myself together. What could have happened? And where could he be? Luciano moves beside me and squeezes my shoulder. Stay calm, amor. He said he would do everything in his power to return to you, and you must have faith it will happen. But what if he can't? What if he is dead too? The three men shake their heads, but their expressions don't have me convinced. Phoenix entangles his fingers with mine, the warmth of his skin zapping the chill settling over my body. The prince can take care of himself, Kimmie. He's every bit the conniving royal his father was. Don't let his cool demeanor fool you. Elryan will come out on top of all of this. I can't miss Phoenix's icy tone. I know he's not a fan of the prince, but I genuinely care for him, especially after the last few days at Winter Court. I can't shake the feeling that whatever happened is my fault. Flair darts over and snatches my hand away from his brother. Giving it a tug, he leads me toward the door. Come on now, you need to eat. Let's hope Cillian and Ryder saved you some of my spectacular homemade waffles. You really cooked? Of course I did, I wasn't lying. He rushes me down the corridor, and the sweet scent of batter and maple syrup intensify with each step. By the time we reach the spiral staircase, my stomach is growling, and I'm sprinting right alongside him. We nearly barrel right over Ariella as we rush into the kitchen, my mouth already watering. Sorry, I mumble. She stands by the stove preparing her famous tea. That's all right, my dear. Would you like some tea? Yes, please. Cillian and Ryder sit on the tall marble island across the way from each other. They're not speaking, but they're not arguing either, so that's definitely an improvement. I jump up on a bar stool between the pair and give them each a smile. "Good morning, little minx," responds Ryder. "Sleep well?" "Yep." I can't help but squirm a little beneath his dark gaze. Now that I've shared a bed with each of the remaining bachelors, things have gotten exponentially weirder between us. I'm not sure how I've been able to compartmentalize my feelings so far. "I hope that noisy dragon didn't keep you up all night with his snoring," he continues. "My room is beside his, and man, it's like a buzzsaw all damn night long." Flair drops a plate of waffles covered in fresh strawberries and whipped cream in front of me, and I have a hard time answering Ryder before digging in. "Nope, Flair must be the loud one. I slept like a baby last night." "Hey," shouts the younger twin. "I don't snore." "Yes, you do," says Phoenix, coming in behind Luciano. "Like a buzzsaw." Ryder laughs, pointing his finger. "You see?" I stuff my mouth with a big bite of waffles as the guys continue teasing Flair. I can't help the groan of pleasure that escapes through my lips as I savor the sweet deliciousness he created. "Wow, this is so good." "Thanks, Firecracker. At least someone appreciates my hard work." Phoenix and Luciano join us at the table, each helping themselves to a plateful of waffles. The atmosphere in the kitchen is light and carefree, so contrary to the past few days. I can only enjoy it for a moment, though, before thoughts of El Ryan begin to creep in. Turning to Cillian, I swallow another big mouthful and lower my voice. "Still nothing from Winter Court?" His eyes darken, the bright blue becoming nearly opaque. "No, I'm sorry. I even had a Monadil reach out, but it's no use. No one is talking." He slides his hand into mine, squeezing my fingers under the table. The blast of angel healing shoots through my veins, filling me with a sense of happiness. Somehow it seems wrong, though. "Don't," I mutter. "I need to feel this." His lips turn down, his jaw clenching, and I curse myself for hurting him. He releases his hold on my fingers and pushes back from the table. The screech of the chair legs against the marble makes my teeth chatter. "Cillian." I try to reach out for him, but he spins out of my reach and darts out of the kitchen. All eyes turn to me at his abrupt departure. "What has my uncle's heavenly knickers all in a twist?" asks Ryder. I shrug and shove another forkful of waffle into my mouth before jumping off my chair. "I'll be right back," I shout over my shoulder, hoping my guards will take the hint not to follow. Crossing through the atrium, I hurry to catch up with my guardian angel. I follow the smack of his feet on the marble toward the great room. I turn the corner and through the French doors catch a glimpse of his back outside on the veranda. I rush out behind him, hoping he doesn't do something stupid like fly away. Gently closing the door behind me, I tiptoe onto the pool deck. His head immediately spins toward me. So much for being stealthy. He sighs and turns back to face the ocean. The sparkling turquoise stretches out as far as the eye can see, the gently rolling waves splashing along the shore. I move to the veranda beside him and settle my gaze on the vast blue. I don't speak for a moment, allowing the peaceful scenery to seep into my pores and, hopefully, Cillian's too. My angel does have a fiery temper, especially with anything that relates to me. "I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings," I finally say. "I love your healing power. I wouldn't have been able to survive the past few weeks without it, but sometimes I feel like it's cheating." He turns to me for the first time. "I hate that you think I use my powers to influence you." I quickly shake my head. That's not at all what I think. Sometimes I just need to feel, to let in all those pesky human emotions. He rewards me with a half smile. "Your pesky human emotions are one of the things I love most about you. I would never seek to dampen them." "I know that. I know you always do what you think is best for me." I slip my arm around his waist and lean into him. It takes him a moment to relax against me. There's something else, isn't there? You've been different since you arrived last night. He looses a slow breath, eyes intent on the water. I'm sorry. It's harder now. After getting you all to myself for 3 days, I'm finding it more difficult to see you with the others. I know what you mean. It's harder for me, too. I take his chin between my fingers and force him to face me. I tried to do as I promised you, to only concentrate on the man I was with during the family visits, and for the most part it worked. A little too well, I think. Now, having you all here together, I feel like a ship at sea torn in every direction, blowing aimlessly in the wind. Perhaps my advice was too good, he mutters. I caress his cheek, tucking a stray blonde strand behind his ear. That's because you're an angel. You're selfless, and you think more of my happiness than your own. It's what I love most about you. He cups his hand over mine and pierces me with his crystal gaze. And the others? Do you love them too? My mouth goes dry. I've been tossing the exact same thought in my mind for days now. I do love them all, but in different ways. There are some I can't imagine my life without, and others that, though parting would be difficult, it wouldn't be life-ending. I want the all-consuming, heart-shattering kind of love, and as unlikely as I thought it would be. I believe I found it here. Chapter 2. I do. I finally answer, and Cillian's jaw tightens beneath my palm. But in different ways. His expression softens a tad as he releases his hold on my hand. Do you know who you will choose tonight? I gulp. I think so. He gives me a smile, but it doesn't quite reach his eyes. Regardless of what I've said, just know that I want you to be happy, even if it's not with me. As much as we have our differences, those are good men in there, for the most part. He arches a brow. But I am sure they all love you and would protect you with their lives. I pull Cillian into a hug, squeezing him tight against me. Thank you, Cillian. Your support means a lot to me. The door leading into the house slams open, the glass smacking against the cinder block wall, and Ryder races through. Ryan's back. My heart leaps to my throat and I nearly choke. Ryder holds the door open as I dart through with Cillian fast on my heels. Everything blurs as I run across the house until Ryan's familiar form coalesces before me at the entrance. I leap into his arms, the pit of dread that had taken root in my stomach finally crumbling. I tighten my hold around his neck as his arms curl around my waist and press me against his chest. His light lavender scent swirls around me, mixing with the frosty air that always lingers on his skin. You're okay. I breathe against his stiff shirt. I am. But his voice doesn't sound like he is. I take a step back, and my eyes settle on his formal, princely attire. He wears the icy blue uniform of the Winter Court soldiers, his hair perfectly slicked back and tied behind his neck. He's freshly shaven, and every inch the aloof fey prince I'd met the first day. I'd been so consumed with the sight of him I hadn't even noticed his prim appearance when he walked in. He lifts his gaze to the 4 other bachelors and Luciano, who have formed a semicircle around us. I need a moment with Kimmie-Jayne in private. I don't have much time. My heart sinks, all the joy from a second ago vanishing. Much time? Ryan gives me a sad smile before fixing his icy gaze on the guys. Please. A few of them grunt their disapproval, but even Luciano eventually backs away. Ryan leads me to the couch and sinks down beside me. What's going on? I search his enigmatic lilac irises. I'll tell you everything in a moment. I only need Dax and Shepard to arrive to disable the cameras. His eyes dart to the blinking red lights around the sitting room. I swallow hard as a million possibilities flitter across my mind. My knee begins to bounce, following the erratic beat of my heart. I'm not sure I'll be able to wait until the execs get here. Elryan taps his finger beneath my chin, forcing me to face him. He leans in close, his cool breath tickling my ear. I'm so sorry, Kimmie-Jayne. I wish things could have turned out differently for us. But know that everything I did for your safety. It was all you were doing. You made me fall in love with you and lose all sense along with it. He inches down my ear and brushes his lips along my jaw. My mouth hangs open as he captures it with his own. Questions burn at the back of my throat, but I can't seem to force them out, not when the prince's tongue is making me unravel. Elryan cups my cheeks, tilting my head to deepen the kiss. My hands slide under the slim-fitting suit, desperate for what I'm scared is the last time with my prince. Gone is his icy, cool demeanor, shattered by some unknown action that I caused. Guilt pummels me in the chest as a surge of emotions rolls through me. My breath hitches. The hot tears sting my eyes. Kimmie. Elryan releases his hold on my lips and cocks his head. What did you do? My voice shakes and the tears spill over. He pulls me into his chest once more, running his hand through my hair. My tears stain his pristine suit, but he doesn't seem to care. These are the pointless thoughts that rush through my addled mind. I did the right thing, he whispers in my ear. The creak of the front door opening forces me to compose myself. I run my fingers under my swollen eyes, sweeping away the tears, and inhale a deep breath. I turn around in time to see Dax and Shepard entering the sitting room. Elryan takes my hand between his and tightens his fingers around mine. Dax, please. All cameras off. Shepard arches a brow, his gray eyes wide as he scrutinizes the prince. Is that really necessary? Do you want this show to air or not? Shep nods at Dax, and the warlock waves his hand, sending small sparks of purple light into the air. A moment later, I tilt my head up to the cameras and no more blinking red lights. The two executives sit in the sofa across from us, tension radiating in the large space. What is this about? Asks Shepard. Elryan sits forward, straightening his back but keeping my hand firmly between his. As you know, the king is dead. He pauses as the two men nod. We're very sorry for your loss, Dax says. Don't be. What you don't know is that I killed him. Icicles shoot through my veins, freezing my heart as I spin toward Elryan. What? I'm sorry, Kimmie-Jayne. I had no other choice. He tightens his grip on my hand as I try to wriggle free. I confronted him about your kidnapping, and we were right. He'd instigated the entire thing. He purposely riled King Cyrus up in hopes of having you killed. He shakes his head, darkness eclipsing the bright lilac. I lost control when he finally admitted it. You would never be safe in Winter Court while he was alive, or anywhere else for that matter. He was adamant that our worlds be kept separate, and you were the person standing in the way. I did it for you. Invisible claws wrap around my heart, tearing into the soft flesh. All the air siphons out of my lungs, and I struggle to suck in a breath. My stomach churns, and I double over, sure I'm going to be sick. Elryan rubs my back, his chilly touch a solace to my feverish skin. I'm so sorry, he murmurs again. Turning to Shep and Dax, he continues. There's more. Father had no intention of casting a favorable vote on the assembly. On the contrary, he's been working to gain allies against the supernatural revelation. He'd been in contact with Lucifer to sabotage the program, to hurt Kimmie-Jayne. I raise a hand, shaking my head. We already know all about Lucifer's involvement. He was working with Tyson and a bunch of the other bachelors. So that's how the devil found out about the vote, says Shep. Elryan was feeding him information. Yes. I turn to Elryan, my head spinning. So now what? Does anyone else know you did it? Are you going to soup jail? I'm not sure how any of this works, but killing a king can't be a minor offense. Now El Ryan becomes king, says Dax, his voice rising. But I don't understand. No one will ever know I killed the king. I've made sure of that. He fixes his gaze on me and his lips turn down. But Dex is right. I must now assume the role of king. I'm obligated to rule Winter Court, and that includes taking my father's place on the assembly. When? He takes my hand, squeezing it once again. The coronation is to take place tonight. My throat tightens, and though I know the answer, I have to ask anyway. So you're leaving? He nods, his lips set in a grim line. I have no other choice. I want to scream that he does, that he can give it all up and choose me, choose to live in the human world away from all the intricacies and deception of the fey courts. But would that be fair to ask him to do? He's already killed his father for me. He doesn't belong in the human world. Luciano and Cillian were right. He's every bit the dark, conniving royal. My heart constricts with the realization. So you'll vote for the reveal? Asks Shep, drawing me from my somber thoughts. Yes, and I'll do everything I can to convince the others as well. He turns to me, the depth of emotion swirling in his light irises startling. It'll be the best place for me to keep an eye on things and assure Kimmie-Jayne's safety. I only nod because it's all I can manage. A vast chasm has ripped its way across my heart, and I'm not sure anything will fix the void. This is 50 shades of screwed up. Ryan killed for me. While I'm thankful he cared that much, I can't get over his methods. It doesn't even matter anymore. I'll probably never see the Fey Prince again, and that tears me up inside. Much more than it should. Dax and Shepard both rise, and Ryan follows suit. I'm still frozen in my spot, my legs too numb to move. We'll give you time to say goodbye, says Dax, his eyes catching mine. The regret written across them is palpable. I obviously don't have to ask for your discretion in this matter. Ryan spears the pair with his chilling gaze. Of course not. They mutter in unison. Shepard extends a hand. Thank you for the sacrifices you've made, and I appreciate your assistance with the assembly. Ryan nods and shakes Dax's hand as well. The two depart, leaving us in an uneasy silence. The two parts of my heart are engaged in a desperate battle of tug-of-war. One side wants to beg Ryan to stay, and the other is appalled by his brutal actions. The prince looms over me, but I can't find the courage to meet his eyes. Kimmie-Jayne, look at me. Please. He lowers himself onto the couch and traps my chin between his thumb and forefinger. You must believe that everything I did was for you. When I spoke to my father, rage completely consumed me. The thought of losing you to one of the others is bad enough, but to see the light in your eyes extinguished for all eternity was more than I could bear. I choked down a sob. They say love makes you do crazy things, and only now do I understand how true that is. There was no love lost between my father and me, but I'd never once considered myself capable of such a thing until I met you. My stomach twists painfully, and I curl into myself. Ryan, I don't know what to say. He presses his finger against my lips. I don't want you to say anything. Let's just pretend none of this nastiness ever happened. I want you to remember me like that day in the cabin at Winter Court. I want you to remember the man you were falling for, not the man I became. Or maybe the man that always lay underneath. Taking my hand, he places it against his heart. You awoke something in here, something I didn't know even existed. But the dam of emotions that erupted along with it was more than I'd anticipated. I'm sorry, I whisper against his finger. Don't be. I'm not. It was all worth it, just knowing a little piece of you cared for me, even if it was only for a little while. I throw my arms over his neck and pull him into a hug. You had more than just a little piece, I murmur into his ear.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?